Those of us who own Payday 2 have recently been granted access to the beta of another co-op shooter created by Payday adjacent devs Lion Game Lion. After having worked on some DLC for Payday 2, Lion Game Lion is now on the verge of releasing their very own game, and it is impossible not to compare this with Payday 2 as it even uses the same outdated game engine. The beta's been out for a week or two now, and it's had a few content and bug fix patches, and I think I've seen enough to finalize my thoughts and impressions from the beta. But before I launch into that, I feel it's important to note my previous love-hate relationship with Payday 2 and the enormous time and money investments I've made into that game. No game has disappointed me time and time again like Payday 2, yet no game has come close to having the crazy amount of playtime I have on it. Payday 2 happened to have a theme I was very interested in. I mean, who wouldn't want to rob some banks with their friends? And a genre that I find very easy to spend a lot of time in. It has a lot of heart and personality and a lot of flaws. Aside from graphics, bugs, and various quirks, Payday 2 is the result of a lot of interesting high-level game systems with god-awful implementation. I think the best example of this is the way you select a level. I get what they were going for with CrimeNet, a dynamic way to select levels that would encourage variety. What you actually get, though, is a system where you sit around waiting for the heist you want to play randomly appearing. Eventually, a way to select the heist you want was added, but you still had to pay in-game money to do it, or remain at the mercy of RNG to provide the level you were looking for. In many respects, this makes Raid feel like the less ambitious little brother of Payday 2. It does almost everything a little bit worse than Payday 2, but the things it gets right are just stripping away of those interesting but terrible systems that Payday 2 has. You can just choose what level you want to play, for example, something that shouldn't even merit a mention, but, as I have stated before, it is impossible not to compare this game directly with Payday 2. It definitely has its own spirit and personality, however, and this is most evident from these quick post-mission Hitler skits. Seriously, they are so bad and good and bad. I just want to write them off as dumb and hate them. And they are dumb, and I do hate them, but they're also fairly charmingly done. I suspect that they were a lot of fun to make. So Raid isn't pretty. It's a rougher, shakier, and less charming, more bare-bones version of Payday 2. There's only one halfway interesting mission to play. The weapon upgrades are tedious to earn. The character upgrades and specs are kind of boring. The gunplay's passable, and the AI is just waves of rock-stupid cannon fodder. And yet I keep launching the beta and checking for more content updates. The game comes out in a few weeks, and I'm almost sure I will reluctantly buy it and dump hours grinding levels and playing co-op. It's a little bit depressing to know this is how it's going to go down, but there just aren't enough good co-op games out right now. Maybe if Destiny 2 hadn't been delayed on PC, I'd be spared the indignity of playing this game. But until then, I suppose I'm on board to grind in games with equal levels of flaw and heart until something better comes along.
Send them to Hades. Let's do this. Hey, party, huh?